whole paragraph, I guess until probably the, well, up until page 8, yeah, is basically a brief, well, sometimes brief, sometimes overly detailed exposition of basically what we got there. Now, the first thing, and something which has really caught people's attention, was this particular thing, yeah? This is the very famous one, and although it is considered to be simple, but the research still continues, and this text still can probably reveal a lot of things which we otherwise would not be able to know, yeah? That's the so-called timely pearl at hand, yeah? Timely pearl at hand. Timely pearl in hand is basically a textbook. It has a preface composed by Tangut scholar Kirill, where he presented his ideas about how the mutual understanding, yeah, between the Chinese-speaking and Tangut-speaking parts of the population of the Tangut Empire, yeah, should understand themselves better, yeah. And so, as you can see, that's a rather standard thing, yeah. The four characters line, yeah. So. Two in the middle, yeah, meaning, yeah, so the one to the right, in the middle, the two columns, yeah, the one to the right is Tangut, the one to the left is translation into Chinese, the one to the very right here, this line, is the transcription of Tangut in Chinese.
Sorry, Kirill, I can't follow this. Slow down and start again. Please.
Okay, this one, that's a Tangut character. No, okay, let's with the top one, yeah? That's hand, right? So to the left, this second line here in the middle, yeah, it's also hand. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Now, to the extreme right here, this is the Chinese transcription of the Tangut sign. Mm-hmm. And here to the left is the Tangut transcription of the Chinese sign. Yeah, so therefore it basically provides an opportunity for the people, the ones who know only Tangut. They can learn Chinese words. The ones who know only Chinese, they can learn Tangut also by this way. The problem with this particular text is that the lexical items, I mean the actual words, yeah, the meaningful, like, I don't know, it is arranged by the Sanzhai, yeah, by the three groups, yeah, so Tiandiran, the heaven, earth, and man, yeah. The problem with this one is, and it contains everything, it plants, parts of human body, also entries on the social structure, even like on filing cases and applying for, I don't know, tax reductions, everything is in there. The problem, however, is that Tangut philology in general developed in a specific manner which is very closely adhering to the Yinyunxue, yeah, to the phonetic study of Chinese during the Song Dynasty. So Tangut scholars were very careful about pronunciation, about phonetics. But the problem was that they were basically ignorant, I would say, about the grammar of their own language. Now the problem is that Gula Maotsai had a very rigorous principle here. He had to provide a specific Chinese character to each Tangut one. Now the problem is that the Tangut is a Tibeto-Burman language, and it has many things, and we will discuss those later. I mean, if we have when we have that brief language introduction, which cannot be presented or rendered through the Chinese equivalents. Well, for example, or sometimes this is done erroneously. Well, there is this example here, for example. This is Ro, yeah? If we look through Zanzunzu through the Pearl in Hand, the way it is all translated as Chinese Yu, yeah? And we tend to translate it in a variety of ways, of course. Now the problem is that this is not really a Chinese Yu, yeah? That's a case marker, which has to be understood in its specifically, but and only in several cases, and actually in a very limited number of occasions, yeah, it can be adequately translated as Chinese Yu, yeah, and this persists throughout the Zhangzhongzhu. Also, another important thing is that Tangut uses a specific manner of verb agreement, which is also rendered in Chinese, and it creates sometimes a lot of misunderstandings, yeah, when we read. But that's, we will probably have another opportunity to deal with those. Another thing, which was, or a number of things which were discovered there, but were identified as such only a little bit later, yeah, is a variety of textbooks, or using the Chinese word mangshu, yeah, the books for beginners. Generally speaking, yeah, and this is, I guess, my understanding here now, is that most of the Tangut literature which we have, yeah, all those encyclopedias and everything, those are books for beginners, as we can see. And here is one, the newly collection pearls, the particles of gold at hand, yeah. The picture is here, and I think I have a translation of this text somewhere in the handout, so that, yeah, should be here somewhere.
I think the preface is on page 2.
Yeah, good, okay. So that yeah, well, you can really, it's actually very interesting. It's basically Tianziwan. It's basically the Tangut version of Tianziwan. But it is...
Oops, Kirill, there's the people who don't speak Chinese.
Tianziwan is the classic of 1,000 characters. With the basic Chinese manchu, the original textbook for the people, yeah? Another thing was, and what became, I think, very clear from the start, yeah, is that Tanguts were extremely concerned with their language. This was the first impression, and now I think we even more believe so. And when we are looking through not Buddhist but secular compositions of various subject matters, every now and then, every single moment, we can find out that the Tanguts speak of their language, of their characters. And that was, I would say, a matter of national pride for them. That it's not only that they were able to establish those, or to create those, but they were actually able to put those into practice. Because we can even say that the Tangut language was, in a way, enforced in Xixia, because, in order to become an official, to qualify for a high-ranking monk, I mean, one had to know Tangut, regardless of his actual nationality. And so, not unsurprisingly, yeah, that a variety of lexicographical materials was discovered in Xixia, yeah. One of those is here to the right. That's actually, I think, the first time it has been discussed publicly, although the existence of this text was known for a while, and Andrew West has published a paper on that. This is something which has been discovered quite recently, yeah? That is a graphical dictionary of the Tangut language, because most of those are based on phonetic principle. We are still working on that, but then you can see, because the Tangut have specified things which we might think or interpret as the radicals, yeah? So these are the radicals here. Now, and these are the formal characters, the kaishu, yeah? And the ones below are the caoshu or xinshu, yeah, the abridged forms, yeah? This dictionary has a preface which is extremely interesting. I wasn't able to prepare, translate, because it's quite long, translation of that for this time, but it actually opens up with saying that since the Tangut characters are very difficult, very few people can master them. And in order to make it easier, they have put together this one. It has a lot of problems, this dictionary, but still I think that the research is quite promising. Now, the one, yeah, here, is it? Yeah. No. The one to the right is a very famous composition, which was, I think, one of the first ever translated into any foreign language from Tangut, yeah, first into Russian. That's the so-called ceremonial ode for the master sage. Master sage is a very famous person, is the so-called Kirill, the person who had allegedly invented the Tangut script. Yeah, I have the translation of that also. I think it is where is it? Yeah. Okay. So I still have that too, and you can see it's actually very, I would say, imaginative. If we really read through those, we can fill up the real pride, yeah, of how Tanguts understood their own writing signs. Yeah, basically said that the three people, yeah, the Tibetans, the Han, the Chinese, the Han, yeah, and the Minyan, the Tangut, yeah, they all have one mother, but their languages are different, yeah. So in the West, where the land is high, yeah, the people of Tibet, yeah, they have the Tibetan writing signs. Now further below, to the east, where the land is low, yeah, the people of Han, yeah, they also have their own characters, and everybody loves its own language, or his own language. Now they say that here in our realm, yeah, here it is, there is this great master Iri, yeah, that's his name, yeah, who is a Ventusi, who is the star of literature, who appeared at the sky and shined on the world, yeah, and now that we have, and what was said there, that we have selected 3,700 young people, every one of those endowed with upright virtue, yeah, and so they were all sent to study Tangut, and now we have our own rituals, we have our own laws, now we have our own books, and so we are now equal or on par, or probably even exceed, yeah, the people who are surrounding us. So this is one thing, and I would say that that is something which became known from the very, very start. Other than that, yeah, also a variety of dictionaries. Although there is a huge corpus of research literature on those, I must admit that we still have not yet acquired a complete or near complete understanding of the Tangut dictionaries. Now, this one over here is the Yintong, yeah, the homophones. The real funny thing about this is when it was first discovered, everybody knew from the beginning, yeah, that that's dictionary arranged on the basis of the so-called 5 sounds, yeah, of the Chinese traditional phonology. Now the problem was, however, was how to read those. If you look carefully, then you could see, there is this big character, right? Or, I don't know, can you like zoom in, yeah? Oh, I don't know this.
Your computer might do it.
Okay.
Give it a shot.
Not sure if it's possible.
You might be able to, if he has a,
I just need to, no, I think, no, here it is. And now please, I mean, that's not a particularly good picture, but just for the information. As you can see, for example, this one. And there's small character to the right. Okay? Now, in most cases are to the right, but sometimes, for example, here in this case, can you see the small explaining character is to the left? Sometimes there are circles, sometimes there are no circles. Yeah? Originally it was believed, that the small character explains the big one. Now let's say that those circles, they play here exactly the same role as they play in the Chinese writing.